Aloha, my name is River Barros, and I was the lead student in Ho'omauka Aina, a Hawaii Youth Sustainability Challenge project from St. Anthony's School, Maui. Our project was to grow native Hawaiian plants to give away to the school community and to teach our peers how to grow native Hawaiian plants. We wanted to also address the lack of education surrounding native species and teach our peers why our Aina matters and why we must learn about it and protect it. Meet the la'o, so the plants that we cultivated. We cultivated multiple species in our project, mainly nitrogen fixers and mainly species from the dryland forest. This is mainly due to how easy they are generally to propagate, and it's a good learning experience to show kids how to properly handle Hawaiian seeds. First, my favorite, Wili Wili. It's one of the most well-known dry forest trees here on Maui, at least. Whenever I, talk to people, they always gotta talk about the many, numerous Wili Wili trees that used to grow on Hana Highway that have since died because of the gall wasp. It has beautiful orange to sometimes white to sometimes green flowers, and if you take a look at that picture, it's a yellow Wili Wili, which is really interesting because that variety of Wili Wili is obviously not as common as the orange one, but it still exists and it shows the variability of this species. It has beautiful orange bark, making it really stand out against the invasive kiawe that it typically grows with. It has bright red seeds. These seeds were used by Hawaiians to make lei, and they're very stunning lei. It's a deciduous tree. Deciduous often refers to a plant or a tree losing their leaves during the winter, but here in Hawaii, because we don't have a suitable winter for that, trees actually lose their leaves commonly during the summer. And this is because it's wanting to conserve its water and conserve its energy during the hot and humid months. One interesting thing about Wili Wili is it has thorns. Most Hawaiian plants do not have thorns, but Wili Wili is one of those exceptions. The thorns are thought to have been evolved to protect itself from giant geese that would have eaten the seedlings. One of my favorite Olelo No'eau proverbs about this is Puaka Wili Wili na nahu kamano, which basically means that when the Wili Wili blooms, the sharks will bite. And that's because Wili Wili blooms often line up with when sharks are in their breeding season, which they're typically more territorial then. Another really interesting and well-known species, Ma'omane. It has yellow pea-like flowers. Again, that's because it's in the nitrogen-fixing family. It's in the Fabaceae family. It's loved by native birds, and when I say loved, I truly do mean it. There's a study that was done that showed when the ma'omane are in bloom, that's when amakihi like to lay their eggs and like to reproduce. And that's really cool and interesting to hear. Another thing is it is loved by the palila, a native species that used to be native to all the Hawaiian Islands, but now is only native to the Big Island. It eats the unripe pods of the ma'omane. Puaka ma'omane lele mai na manu. Bloom the ma'omane, come the birds. A really well-known one as well, not only in Hawaii but across the world, koa. Koa is the tallest native tree in Hawaii, growing well over 100 feet. It has sickle-shaped leaves. However, these are not true leaves. Its true leaves only come out when it's first germinating and first growing, but then it will start to use these fake leaves to better capture sun. It's well known for its use in canoes. The Hawaiians would make va'a out of it. And there's a saying and a practice where if an elepaio comes in a koa tree that was about to be cut down, the Hawaiians would abandon that because it would have brought misfortune on them. It is also the second most dominant tree species here. We have two dominant tree species, ohia and koa. And one thing that is interesting about this species is there was a native bird tied to it known as hopue, or the koa finch. The hopue would have been native to virtually every single island, different species that is. But unfortunately, because of Hawaiians bringing rats in, and also due to avian malaria, all the koa finch species have sadly gone extinct. But they would have fed on the unripe seed pods of koa, kind of like palila. Eola koa, live like a koa, be strong. Na nea. So this is one of our native beach peas. We have a total of 3 different species, 2 indigenous, meaning they're found other places in the world. This is one of those species. And also another endemic species that's endangered. It's a long ground cover vine, and it has beautiful yellow flowers. It's, again, a nitrogen fixer. Hila'au kolo nohoana make kahakai. A creeping vine, a creeping plant. It lives in the beach. So the challenge is, how did we do this? This project was relatively easy, and we were able to get quite a bit done. There were a few challenges, though, namely with getting kids interested. I'll be completely honest, most of the kids were not as interested as I would have hoped. I only had throughout the whole entire process of trying to teach the kids, only one kid actually asked what I was planting and what we were planting. And on top of that, they didn't really seem interested. However, they were able to learn a couple of things, which I'm very proud about. How did we do it? Well, we started by getting perlite and soil and mixing it to about a 50-50 ratio. Then we put them into 4-inch to 6-inch containers, and then we would scarify often our seeds and then plant them. To scarify seeds means to rub off the seed coat to allow for water to penetrate and to allow for the embryo to actually be able to grow. What we got accomplished. We were able to grow around 80 native trees while also teaching students how to prepare native seeds. They especially learned how to scarify and plant. That's one thing that I'm really happy they got out of it, is they do know how to scarify now. I didn't have to repeat it every single time we worked on a new species. They just knew how to do it, which I'm very glad. And one thing that I'm really excited about is we will be giving away the plants in mid-May, so right before our school gets out. I'm hoping that whoever takes home the plants will be able to cherish them. One day, I hope that we can bring back the Aina in some way to its original state. By this project, I hope that some of these seedlings will grow into mighty trees that will support maybe Manunahele one day, and I just hope that this project can somehow help other species and help our biodiversity. And that is all. Mahalo.